Hello and welcome to another training tutorial, and in this video we will be learning how to create this sink as shown on the screen. And this family can actually being provided by Autodesk Revit. You can find this family under if you go open family and go to the plumbing category, architectural fixtures, sinks, you should see that is sink dash bathroom bracket 2. So this is the one that we're going to recreate. We're going to make it a lot more flexible and more functional, and we'll end up with a product that's this one over here. Okay, I'm just going to have a new project so that you can see the capabilities of this family. And I'm just going to load into a sample project here, and this is the sink that I just brought over. Okay, so this thing allows a user to change the number of sinks they require, maybe 2, maybe 3 sinks. And although you see it's a little bit out of place, but once we align it, you can see that we can adjust using the this drag arrows here. We call this the drag arrows in Revit. You can adjust the position of them, and so these are the added functionalities. Basically, it can contain more than one sink itself, and it's flexible enough that you can stretch them. They have these arrows to stretch them. You can change the number of sinks. I think I said that already. And you also can put the length of the countertop. So we're just going to add all these functionalities into the family that we're going to create. So first off is to go new family matrix generic model as usual. And we are first, before that, I'm just going to show you the management of the family itself. So there's actually 3 families that you need. So countertop, sink, and tab. So the countertop is the host family, where the sink will be loaded inside, and the tab will be loaded in the sink, which will then again be brought over to the countertop. The first family that we are going to create is the sink. We're just going to create a sink and a countertop, and the tab will be just, we're going to get a tab from the Autodesk library. So right now we can go ahead and create a very simple sink. Okay, so for a sink, I'm going to make it a circular shape, so I do not need to create additional reference plane. I'm just going to go to the front elevation. For the front elevation, I'm going to create maybe a reference plane here, and let me see. Yep, just a reference plane here. I'm going to do a dimension. This will be the height of the sink, and maybe I do need a reference plane. Let me think about it. Yes, we do need additional vertical reference plane, and I'm just going to put this as equal to a dimension. I just want to control the radius instead of the diameter, so this will be radius. So I'm just going to put change some numbers here. Height can be 200, radius will just be 200. Okay, and now I can start to design the sink, and I will use the revolve tool to create a circular sink. So solid revolve, and I like to always draw the axis line first. So axis line is just a straight blue line here, and then I start to draw the boundary lines. And while doing so, I'm just going to kind of just make this shape over here. I use the align command to make sure to lock it to the parameter called radius. You see the reference plane here, and also to the height, and to the center, and to the bottom. Oops. Okay, and I just want to have a little curve. So otherwise, if I'm not creating a curve sink, then there's really no point using a revolve. We could have done so using an extrusion if you're not looking to create some curved shapes on your sink. So remember, a revolve requires an axis, which is the blue lines, and then for the sketch lines known as the boundary lines, the pink ones, they must be in a closed loop. So even though here have already axis line, but you must draw another line for this portion to make sure that the boundary lines the lines are in a closed loop. After we just press the OK button. I just want to test the parameters. This is a little too high. I'm going to test this by height 250, radius 250. You can see it changing very well. Okay, here you go. Let me see. Okay, maybe I would just increase the radius to be slightly larger, and then the height will be 150. Okay, so something like that will be good. So I think I'm just going to make some modification first. Yeah, that should be fine here. Let's make some curve. Okay, that should be it. That will be my basin. And next we're going to go to the reference level and create the gap of the sink using a void extrusion. Just create about maybe 15, maybe 20 radius, 20 mm radius. And there you go, there is the sink. So you can actually save this sink that's created by save as, says family, and let me think about it, training sink 2A will be a good name. Okay, so we can take this as training sink to A, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, let me show you the chart again. Okay, so the sink's done, and we're going to put the tab into the sink. We're not going to create a tab, we're just going to use the tab that Revit has provided to us. So go to Open, Family, Plumbing, Architectural, Fixtures, Fittings, I guess, and you have some options, some tabs available. I'm going to choose tab number 6, but you can choose for any tabs, they will all work. Okay, I'm going to go to the floor plans, and I'm going to create a tab that is, let me see, I'm going to create 2 reference plane because that is 45 degrees, because I want to rotate my tab by 45 degrees. But instead of rotating the tab, I want to create a reference plane for it instead, so that when I load it into the sink, I will be able to rotate by 45 degrees. And the reason why I also do not rotate it in this family is because when you look at other people's model, you do not know what kind of how they create the objects, and therefore not every model will actually allow you to rotate within the family environment, or especially when it's the main file. So once I put this reference plane that is 45 degrees, when I load it into the sink, I can then rotate in the sink family. So once you're done with these 2 reference plane that is 45 degrees, press load into project, load into your sink. Okay, and I'm just going to maybe place it here, and I'll just rotate it by 45 degrees. Okay, 45 degrees, and I will be, let me see, I will lock it to, let me see, where can I actually lock this thing here. Okay, wait a minute, I need to be able to lock this. Okay, so I can lock it here, and give me a moment. Okay, let's continue this exercise. And in order for you to have a fixed dimension between the tab and the sink, you must, okay, you can see that the reference plane is still here. Okay, and I'm going to click on the reference plane and the edge of the sink, and I'll just lock it at maybe 45. 45 is not a degree, it's a length. Okay, so I'm going to lock it about, maybe I'll just give it as 30. 30 would be fine, and lock this here. And when you still change the radius of your sink, you should see that the tab is moving along with it as well. So I'll just keep the radius to 200, and yeah, the tab is still in the right position. That's fine. And the next one we're going to create is the countertop family, which will host all the other elements. And we're just going to create a new, okay, file, new family, generic model, and we need 2 extra vertical reference plane. Actually here, and 1 additional horizontal reference plane. Okay, this will be the length of the countertop, and this will be the width of the countertop. Okay, width, no, this is length, and this will be the width. Okay, so I'm going to put in some decent numbers here, 1000 and maybe 600. And create extrusion, rectangular shape, lock all corners, press the green tick, go to the front elevation as usual, reference. Maybe I'll just create 2 of them. Okay, here, here, and here. This will be the height, and this will be the thickness itself. So I'm going to align this here and here. And I'll just put in down decent numbers again. Height maybe 900. No, 750 will be fine. Thickness will be 50. That should work for our countertop. And I need you to go back to the sink family. Okay, is this the sink? No, this is not the sink, sorry. The sink is here. Okay, so the one with your tab and the sink together, I need you to press load into project and use load it into the countertop. Place one of it, let's just place in the let's place it here. Okay, and we need to align the sink into the center, and we have no center reference plane, so what we can do, we use the reference plane that is already in the sink itself. So remember, there's still reference plane, although it's a host element, there's invisible lines or invisible reference planes, because while in this family itself, you can see the reference planes here and here. This is the one that exists. These 2 also exist. You can use them to align in other, when you load it into other families. So I'm just going to do a dimension to the center and to the end of the width. Press the EQ button so that when you change the width to a different number, the sink is still right in the middle, which is perfect. Yep, that will be okay. In fact, I will not do that. I will always try to have the sink in the front, and maybe I'll just give this formula, position of sink. Okay, so position of sink will be, let me think about it. So maybe width divided by 2 minus 100, probably. That's too much. Minus, let me see, 50. Okay, so that will be the formula of the position of the sink. So it's always at the back, somewhere at the front, even though your counter may be longer, to put the soap shampoos at the back. And then we're going to create a reference plane to control the sink. So we're not going to directly dimension the sink, but we're going to use the reference plane that will reduce a lot of the errors associated with families. And this will be the parameter will be sink. Let me see, sink horizontal H position, right? And that will be fine as a parameter. I'm going to make it smaller, and make sure to wait a minute. Make sure to align the center of H position reference plane to the center of the sink itself and lock it. And so let's just stop here, and so see you in the next video where we will continue to upgrade this family itself.